From the day the Romans took over Jerusalem, Jewish rebels began launching raids against them from mountain and desert hideouts. They believed that if they fought bravely enough, God would grant them a miraculous victory, as in the Bible stories of old. To deal with the rebels, the Romans chose a commander known both for his boundless ambition and extreme cruelty, an Arab prince named Herod.
Herod is perhaps one of the most amazing characters in history. What was the guy really? First of all, they debate, was he Jewish, was he not Jewish? And his mother was actually an Arab princess, so he wasn't Jewish. Now, Herod had worked under his father in the government because Herod's father was a kind of, I don't know how to call it, almost Secretary of State, but it means head of everything. And as a result of this, Herod was involved in what we might call police actions. And of course, eventually he built up enough of a power base that he was able to make himself into king of the Jews.
To many Jews, the crowning of a king who was not a descendant of David was blasphemy. And so the rebels decided to come down from the mountains and lead the people of Judea in an all-out revolt. But Herod had Rome behind him, and according to Josephus, he decided to make an example of the rebels.
Whole masses were slaughtered in alleys, crowded in their houses, and even taking refuge in the temple. There was no mercy for either young or old, nor were the weakest women spared. Like madmen, they took vengeance on all ages.
The last of the rebels fled to caves dug into cliffs, where they were convinced that Herod would not be able to reach them.
Herod was really a ruthless guy. He would bring his soldiers to these caves where these rebels were hiding. What he used to do is he would build these kind of scaffolds, lower soldiers down. When the soldiers got down there, they would throw what amount to sort of smoke bombs or smoke grenades into these caves. And when the women and children would come to the edge of the cave, they had hooks, and they would yank these people with the hooks and just throw them to the death.
Once he'd tightened his grip on the throne, Herod did the unexpected. Sensing the temple's essential role in the nation's cultural and economic life, he decided to make it into the most impressive monument on earth through a rebuilding project that required mountains of stone and gold.
The temple in Jerusalem, first of all, was one of the great wonders of the world. Tourists came to see it. Maybe for our taste it was a little bit glitzy, but it was golden, it shimmered. People thought it was one of the most beautiful places on earth. Gentiles came to bring sacrifices, to offer gifts, because they thought that it was a place with power, that it represented something to them, God's seat on earth. And for the Jewish people, of course, it was quite literally that. It was God enthroned on earth in a place.
But no temple beautification plan could make the Jewish rebels accept Herod as king of the Jews. The rebels continued to fight, and Herod continued to kill them. The endless violence was no surprise to another group of Jews who believed that God did not want them to fight the Romans. He wanted them to prepare for the end of days.